Well, welcome back to the channel there, Papa's Posse. Once again, it's time for Papa's comic books, coffee, and more. Okay, today we will read Gotham City, Year 1, Issue number 3 by Tom King, Phil Hessler, Eric Kaptor, and Jordi Belair. This book was $4.99 in 2023. Okay. Now, also, don't forget, this book and others are available on my eBay page, Papa's-Comic-Books. Also, hit that like button if you don't mind, and hit that subscribe button. I can really help that and help the channel out. That would be nice. And leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you thought, okay? All right, let's start reading Gotham City Year 1. Here we go. You know what this is? Georgia, I bet you don't. This here, George, this is what I call a Gotham lie detector. It's very special. It's got fancy bullets. They only fire when you're lying. Can you believe modern technology? We actually are going to send a man to the moon. Won't you listen? I didn't have anything to do with stealing that. I bought it from a guy on the corner. That's why I had it. That's the God's truth. Okay. I guess we'll see, won't we? Oh, gonna shoot him in the hand. Blam! Oh, no! Ha 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 ha! Oh, that wasn't supposed to be loaded. Who loaded my gun? Sorry about that, boy. Jesus, haha, I guess you were lying. Haha. Oh, no! Oh, shut your pie hole before you get us all in trouble. Crack! I said shut it. Well, there you go. That's a hearty lesson to learn for you baby detectives. You always need to check measure once and cut twice. Holy, why don't you guys clean this report to NWC and we'll start. Bradley, what the block are you doing? Hey, look at that slam, Bradley. Hey, do you even know how much trouble you're stepping into, kid? Pow! Bang! Crack! Well, what in the hell, Bradley? You can't do that. Get off of him. Chief, Bradley's falling off his friggin' rocker. He's gonna kill him. Damn it, what in the name of Christ are you doing, Bradley? You get your hands off this officer right damn slam. Jesus, Bradley, what did you do? We gave the go-between the money in exchange for a location for the kid. They said they'd leave him next to the Wayne's grave. Checked. No kid. Your boss blew a fuse. I had to quiet him. I waited around some, but no one showed. Imagine when he comes to tomorrow and he'll think I was in on it somehow and want to toss me to the PD. I'm going to get some sleep tonight. I won't get at the station. I'll be at my office in the morning, regular hours. They can pick me up there. You come to me with this, and I'm supposed to just let you leave? You know who I am, Loader. You've seen it. You don't want to see it again. I guess he's taking a shower. I went home and took a shower. I got into bed. I closed my eyes, and there she was. I got out of bed. I downed a shot. Then I downed another. I lay down again, and I closed my eyes again. And there she was, Helen Wayne, the Princess of Gotham City, the little girl lost. I got to my office early enough, and I waited. Mr. Bradley. But it wasn't the cops who came for me. Well, this is unexpected. Is it? Would you care to sit down, Mrs. Wayne? Thank you. This won't take long. I'm sorry last night didn't go any better than it did. How's your husband? Angry. Anyone would be in these circumstances. Yes, well, when Mr. Wayne gets angry, he likes to slap me around. A touch. Those are his circumstances. It wasn't too bad this time. I have some good powder covers. You're right up. I'm sorry. He's a bit of a savage. I used to like that about him. I thought It was for everyone else. I didn't know it would come for me. You never think you're a clown until one day you look in the mirror and well, there you are with powder on. You're no clown, Mrs. Wayne. And you're no kidnapper, Mr. Bradley. I was at least able to talk Richard out of that. Sam? Constance? Maybe even Connie. But don't tell. I might get in trouble. I would like to hire you, Sam. I have money. Not all of it is his. Hire me for what? My husband is insisting on further waiting for more instruction before we take any action. Waiting, and waiting. He believes Helen is still alive. After your encounter last night, I do not. I would like to hire you to find her killer before they get too far with all their loot, I suppose regardless of my husband's instructions. Constance, Connie, there's still a real possibility. You are in a unique position. You have seen them, you know us. As such, you can and you will find these people, and we shall bring them to whatever justice is currently available. She might be all right. This might just be, no, she is gone. She no longer needs our love. She now only demands our fury. A mother knows. I didn't touch the money. I didn't even ask how much it was. All I did was tell her there were no promises. I could give it right now, and I could be sure of keeping, but hope was often better than worry. She said she understood, and she hoped I did, too. And she said it. She ground down on that hope like it was a seed in her orange juice. Then she gave her goodbyes and left politely enough, leaving the money still lying on the desk. After she was gone, I counted it. 10,000, which went pretty far in those days. A year's worth of cases wouldn't pay that much. But the long and short of it was, I'd have done it for free. The job was to find Sue, the go-between who had the money. Find out if she was working for anybody, and if so, who might that anybody be. This was made somewhat more complicated by the fact that when I sent my man Johnny Boy to tail her, he ended up dead. But I pushed that out of my mind. Some risks you just take, not because they're good, but because everything else is worse. Sir, excuse me. I got 4 rooms left for rent, $20 a week with a $20 deposit up front. You pay Thursdays. That's $300 for a few seconds of your time. And a phone number. Huh? Sure, pal. What you got? The way she jumped and landed after our exchange from our one building to another, I couldn't believe I was watching it. But looking back with some time to consider, there was a simple enough explanation. It wasn't her first time. She practiced, which meant she had regular access to the roof. Yes, ma'am. If we could meet tonight, please, it's greatly appreciated. I'm very sorry to inconvenience you, but it's a police emergency. So maybe she stayed in the building, or her family did. You could trace that through the rental records, if they kept them. Problem with that is, this was the north side. Even a crumbling edifice didn't encourage her type to lay their heads down in this part of town. But the supers did hire those people from time to time to get in and clean the rooms between the renters. Business like hers don't have offices easy to avoid the tax man. You said you were a cop. You're no cop. I met her in a parking lot down on South Side. She walked me to a bar, told me I was buying. No, I'm something better. I need to ask you about one of your girls. I got a lot of girls. Okay. You have a thing for us? You some sort of northy sicko down here? Some damn proud of your slumming? How much does it take to get a few questions more? Young, early 20s, thin, good looking, bunch of energy, maybe too much, talks quick, showy, educated, seems to me. Worked the finger apartments, but didn't work them well, probably getting lost, sometimes ditching out. Interest in athletics or dancing or something like that, jumps like a ballerina. She might have left your employment recently. I see it now. What? You aren't slumming, are you? No, you're right. At home. Takes one to know one and all that jazz. Ooh, The Dark Knight vs. Hell's Elite Soldier. Batman and Spawn. She remembered one of her cleaners who worked at the Finger, one who got into trouble there a few times for slacking off. A young, ambitious girl who was always twirling around like a ballerina. I spent the next hours going from one South Side club to another, asking for another dancer named Queenie. There were quite a few joints then and quite a few blocks. I dropped a lot of sawbucks. Everyone called her Queenie. She didn't have any records. For the woman, she paid everyone in cash, the taxman again. Best she could say, Queenie left her year and a half ago, bragged that she got a gig high kicking at one of the jukes. From scrubbing to hoofing, quite a journey, sticks out in a person's mind. Yeah, Queenie. Queenie was a real mover and shaker. She could spin it, man, and when she did it, it stayed spun. Jay went with her for maybe half a minute there, and I think Jay's got a luck in his shoes. Last name? Jay. You remember that Queenie? You know, with the legs, you had her out? What'd she call herself? Whole name, I mean? Remember she was trying to get it on that marquee we had? Lydell. Yeah, she wanted it up there in the lights. See that, friend? You pay the full ticket price, you get the full show. Every customer satisfied. Queenie Lydell. Might not have been anything, an alias, or even the wrong woman altogether. I wasn't grasping at straws. I was praying for them. Which is to say, I didn't know anything about anything. But at least I knew I wasn't going to find anything about anything in the phone book. Welcome, brother. What are you looking for? I need an address, Ma. Samuel Taylor Bradley. This is how you say hello now? Big swanky you? Sorry, you look nice. And I got the name of a girl. I need an address. I do look nice, thank you. Queenie Lydell, young 20s, precocious, a dancer who worked out of a gin and jive. Left about a month back, used to do domestic work for Miriam's Cleaners. It's important. Has to be done quick. When are you not in a hurry? Do I look like I have the whole city map in these cards? No, Ma. But you got every alderman, preacher, and judge on the south side coming through here thinking you certainly might. Someone needs to be found. You know the people who can find them. Samuel? Yes, ma'am. Who told you you can smoke in here? You're as rude as your father ever was. I swear on his good grave. Sorry, Ma. Won't happen again. I got back to my office. She called me shortly before sunup. James Lydell lives at 141 Toth. His niece has been staying with him, she told me. She's supposed to be some sort of a dancer. I knocked on the door. I knocked for a while. Finally, a man came down and opened it. I guess this was James. Fuck, what do you want? In this hour? You even know what time it is? I had a plan on how to get in. What to do if she answered. What to do if James answered. Not a great plan, but a plan. Then I heard the baby crying. Wah! And my plan went down the door. Whack! Crank! The wailing was coming from upstairs. I rushed past James. I didn't see the gun. Blam! Blam! Mister! It's awful early to die! Wham! He expected me to talk, I think, or at least to stay alive. To stay still. I didn't do either. Wham! Blam! When I hit the ground, something in my leg snapped, but I could still hear the baby shouting, so there wasn't any time for that. Wah! I charged at him, put my head down. Wah! Bam! Blam! And I was lucky enough to get there before he had the gun pointed right. I put him down. Slam! I got up. Wham! I went back to the stairs to find Helen. Wah! I won't lie to you. As I entered that room, I had some fantasies going through me I'm not so proud of now. Images of bringing the princess home to her mother, of seeing her smiling in the paper and knowing it was me that did it. watching the whole city snapping into parade. Everyone has saved. Let's celebrate in the streets. Hooray! And then I looked down at the child in her crib. Wah! What? And I realized I just cracked into some random fellow's house, clocked him out because his kid was crying. Probably just by crying because I was knocking so hard, I'd gotten it all wrong. Or that's what I thought until I spied the yard out the window. There was a shovel by the side of the fence. I went to the spot I'd seen from upstairs, a few square feet of brown dirt in the far west corner of the lawn, where everything else was well-tended green grass, as if this was one spot had recently been disturbed, as if a small pit had been gouged out of the covered over. I dug, and as I dug, I kept thinking about how calm she'd been. How she'd looked me right in the eye without a shake in her voice and told me the only truth there really is to had, the only truth I believe man can cling to when all else brings you low. A mother knows. That's an L. My mind wandered back as I felt something in me. I hadn't felt it in a while. I used to be a cop, even rose up to detective, youngest on the force. I lied some to get there, but it was a different time. You had to tell lies to get any scrap back then. Jesus Christ, what the hell do you think you're doing, Bradley? You out of your damn mind? On the force, I'd seen every angle, dirty stuff, mean things you read about in books and sometimes get around in your nightmares, and none of it bothered me. Yes. Just figured that this was the price we paid to live in our great, prosperous, and ever-peaceful Gotham City. Slam! Then, this one day, I was just going about my business, watching something else with some mean in it. And all of a sudden, well, Bruce, I think maybe you'd understand. Hell, you'd probably be the only one who would understand. I didn't want to pay that price anymore, and I found myself plenty bothered. To be continued. That was Gotham City Year 1, Issue 3 by Tom King and Phil Hester. I hope everybody enjoyed that reading. Now don't forget, this book and others were available on my eBay page, Papa's-Comic-Books. Also, hit that like button, give me a subscription down below, and leave me a comment. Tell me what you thought. And as always, as Papa and Bradley always say,
that was easy.
Until next time, Papa is out.